I just built 8 illegal Lego techniques and I'll be showing them in this video. Basically, an illegal building technique is considered any Lego connection prohibited by the Lego Criminal Code. So yeah, using an illegal building technique is pretty dangerous. In fact, you better subscribe because I had to flee all the way to Lloydminster after building these. Wait a second, I think I just heard something. Okay, here's our first illegal Lego technique. How it works basically is if we connect two 1x6s by just one stud, they twist, which is an illegal building technique as it's extremely fragile. But if we put a bunch of these together, it actually makes this kind of satisfying feeling. Now, this really isn't that illegal. However, the builds get more illegal as the video goes on, so make sure to watch the whole thing. Our second illegal Lego technique is a bit more obscure. It turns out placing a one wide plate into this Technic brick is actually illegal as it strains the pieces somehow. And if we put a blue plate on top, that somehow is also illegal because of the height difference. Wait a second, that kind of looks like the flag of Ukraine. This is our third illegal Lego technique, and it's this circle thing. Don't ask why it's multiple colors. It's extremely satisfying. However, it is again illegal as it puts strain on the pieces, as you can see by this broken Lego 1x2. Which is kind of a shame because it looks so nice. And even though it's pretty secure, as soon as just one part connects, the whole thing basically collapses, so it was kind of annoying to build. Now let's get rid of this. And let's get into our next illegal building technique. You're attaching like a normal person like this, or you could put it sideways. Now you may wonder why this is illegal as it looks perfectly fine. However, let me demonstrate. And as we can see, if we attach a bunch of these, the plate is clearly bending, which is really unsatisfying. However, apparently if we do the same thing with plates like this is a legal building technique, and even Lego has used this in their sets. Well, they've used the other one too, but we don't talk about that. However, we put a bunch of these on this plate, we can see it still bends, which makes people wonder why this is legal, as it still seems to be damaging the piece. However, to fix it bending, we can actually put another piece on top. However, that seems to make things worse, as this feels like it's about to explode at any moment. For our next illegal Lego technique, we have this uncompleted house. Now, if you want to give it a green floor, we could just attach it like a normal person this way. However, we can actually use an illegal way where we put it upside down. Now, I don't know why anyone would do this, but I guess it is smoother. It's actually kind of painful to look at. However, if we put our Lego man in, there's another technique we could use, where instead of sticking the roof upright, you could stick it upside down. Now, I don't get why anybody would ever want to do this, but it doesn't damage your Lego bricks. It just makes the connection extremely insecure. So for example, if a strong gust of wind came, wait, I'm missing a 1x6. Oh, here it is. Our next illegal Lego connection is that if we take this axle piece and this clear lava piece, we can actually attach them together if we put the axle at a 45-degree angle. Actually, a pretty solid connection. However, it is illegal. And if we attach this piece down here, we can actually have a minifigure hold it. And now it kind of looks like our firefighter's holding fire. However, you may ask why he's holding fire if he's a firefighter. But the actual reason is that he's not a firefighter because he fights fire. It's because he fights with fire. Now, let's say we want to attach these bricks together. However, instead of wanting to do like a normal person like this, we want to attach them upside down. That doesn't really work unless we use a couple legal building techniques. The first thing we can use is these two black pins, which we can simply stick in these holes. However, as we'll notice when we attach the other end, it does hold it together. However, there's a big gap, which we really do not want. And now you might think the blue pins would work better, since they're literally meant for sticking to normal bricks. However, even though the gap is smaller, it's still there. However, if you want to eliminate the gap, there's a couple methods that work. First off, we can use these cheese slopes, and if we attach them in the corners, and then attach another one on top, there's no gap, and it's a pretty solid connection. You can also use these gray panes or even window panes, and this one actually works pretty well too. It's probably one of the best ways to do it. Now it's time for our final and most illegal Lego building technique. So it turns out if you grab one of these arms, which I forgot what they're supposed to be used for, you can actually forcefully put a 1x1 snot brick on it. Now they'll apply a lot of force that they were not meant to connect to this. It's putting a lot of strain on the piece. However, we now have an angled piece, which is actually quite useful, and we could build a lot of cool things with it. However, for this video, I'll be building a ramp. Use one of the previous illegal building techniques to attach to this plate. Now our ramp is ready to use. So let's grab this minifigure, force him in there, shove the roof on, and test our ramp. Huh, that didn't seem to work that well. So let's try an F1 car. So 3, 2, 1. The F1 car took the ramp way better. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching till the end, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.